Most people think they know Seoul, K-pop, Kimchi, K-dramas, skincare, Samsung, BTS, Squid Game. They think Seoul is a city that became famous because of pop culture, a trendy neon-lit place that the internet discovered and decided to love. They're wrong, and they're missing the most extraordinary story. Seoul is one of the oldest continuously inhabited cities in Asia. It has been a capital city for over 600 years. It was almost completely destroyed twice in the 20th century alone. In 1950, during the Korean War, Seoul changed hands 4 times in 12 months. By the time the war ended, the city was rubble. 80% of its infrastructure was gone. Its population had fled. And then Seoul did something that no other city in modern history has done quite so completely or quite so fast. It rebuilt from almost nothing. In 50 years, it went from a city of rubble to one of the most technologically advanced, economically powerful, and culturally influential cities on Earth. Beneath its streets, there are bunkers designed to shelter the entire population in case of a nuclear attack from North Korea, which is just 35 miles away. Under one of its most popular shopping districts, there is a library so beautiful that it regularly goes viral on social media. And in its traditional neighborhoods, you can still find houses that look exactly as they did 500 years ago. A 5-minute walk from the headquarters of some of the most powerful technology companies in the world. Welcome to Globe Curious. Let's go to Seoul. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to stay updated with more amazing videos and curiosities you'll only find here. Leave a like to help me reach even more people, and turn on notifications so you never miss a new video. Stay until the end to discover even more incredible facts. To understand Seoul, you need to understand Korea because the two are inseparable. The Korean peninsula has been inhabited for over 5,000 years. For most of that time, it was ruled by a series of kingdoms. The Three Kingdoms period, the Goryeo dynasty, and finally the Joseon dynasty, which was founded in 1392 and would rule Korea for over 5 centuries. The Joseon kings chose a city they called Hanyang as their capital. And they chose it for good reason. Surrounded by 4 mountains and bisected by the Han River, it was naturally defensive, naturally beautiful, and naturally supplied with fresh water. They built their palace there, Gyeongbokgung, in 1395. It was the largest palace in East Asia at the time. They built city walls around the palace and the city. They built gates. They built temples. And they built a society based on Confucian principles, scholarship, hierarchy, respect for elders, and deep reverence for family that still shapes Korean culture today. 600 years later, the city was renamed Seoul, simply meaning capital in Korean, and it grew. By the time the Japanese Empire colonized Korea in 1910, Seoul was already a major Asian city. The Japanese occupation lasted 35 years and left deep scars on Korean culture and identity that are still felt today. When Japan was defeated in World War II in 1945, Korea was liberated, but immediately divided along the 38th parallel into a Soviet-backed North and an American-backed South. Then came 1950. The Korean War. North Korean forces invaded the South on June 25th and within 3 days had captured Seoul. United Nations forces led by the United States pushed them back. China entered the war and pushed UN forces south again. The battle lines moved back and forth across Seoul 4 times in 12 months. By the time an armistice was signed in 1953, not a peace treaty, just a ceasefire, which technically means the Korean War has never ended. Seoul was in ruins. What happened next is one of the most extraordinary stories in modern economic history. South Korea went from one of the poorest countries in the world in 1953 to one of the richest in just 5 decades. Economists call it the miracle on the Han River, and Seoul was at the center of all of it. Now for the secrets. Seoul has more of them than most cities its size, partly because it is so modern that people assume it has no hidden depths. They're wrong. Secret number 1, the nuclear bunkers. North Korea is 35 miles from Seoul. The two countries are technically still at war, and Seoul has prepared accordingly. beneath the city's streets, beneath the subway stations, beneath the shopping malls, beneath the Han River parks, there is an extensive network of underground shelters and fortified tunnels designed to protect the city's population in the event of a military attack. Many of Seoul's subway stations double as emergency shelters, with blast doors, emergency supplies, and ventilation systems capable of filtering chemical and biological agents. The subway stations are deeper than most in the world, partly for engineering reasons, but partly because depth provides protection. Seoul does not talk about this very much, but it has thought about it very carefully. Secret number 2, the Starfield Library. Inside the COEX Mall in the Gangnam district, one of the largest underground shopping complexes in Asia, there is a library. Not a regular library, a cathedral of books. The Starfield Library is a 2-story open space with bookshelves that rise over 13 meters high, filled with over 50,000 books, accessible to anyone who walks in. No membership required, no fee. You simply walk into the shopping mall, find the library, and sit down. It has become one of the most photographed spaces in all of Seoul, regularly going viral on social media, and it sits in the middle of a shopping center between a cinema and a department store, as if this is the most natural thing in the world. Secret number 3, the secret tunnel of Cheongdeokgung. Cheongdeokgung Palace, a UNESCO World Heritage Site built in the 15th century as a secondary royal residence, contains a network of underground tunnels that were used by the royal family for emergency escape during times of crisis. The palace once had a secret tunnel network connecting it with other locations, possibly used by the royal family for escape during emergencies. The tunnels have been partially excavated and studied, but their full extent is still unknown. The palace's famous secret garden, a 78-acre private garden designed for the exclusive use of the royal family, is still largely intact and can be visited today with a separate ticket. Secret number 4, Seoul never sleeps. Most major cities have a nighttime lull, a few hours between 2 a.m. and 6 a.m. when the street's empty and the city rests. Seoul does not. The city operates on a genuinely 24-hour cycle. Gyms open at midnight and fill with people. Restaurants serve full meals at 3 a.m. Beauty clinics perform consultations at 4 a.m. Convenience stores, which are everywhere in Seoul, one on virtually every corner, never close. The culture of pali pali, which translates roughly as hurry hurry, means that Seoul moves faster than almost any other city on Earth, and it does so around the clock. Secret number 5, you can leave your laptop in a cafe and nobody will take it. Seoul is one of the safest major cities in the world for travelers. You'll see people reserving cafe seats with their wallets and leaving laptops out for hours. The crime rate in Seoul is extraordinarily low by global standards. Violent crime is rare. Petty theft is rare. In the city's thousands of cafes, which are among the most elaborate and beautifully designed in the world, it is completely normal to leave your belongings on a table to mark your seat while you go to order. This level of public trust is something most cities in the world can only dream of. Let's talk about the records, because Seoul, quietly and without much fanfare, holds some of the most remarkable records of any city on Earth. Record number 1, internet speed. South Korea has the fastest average internet speed of any country in the world. In Seoul, that speed reaches extraordinary levels. Fiber optic connections are standard in virtually every apartment, cafe, and public space. The subway has full high-speed internet coverage on every line, at every depth. You can stream a 4K video while traveling 40 meters underground at 60 kilometers per hour and experience zero buffering. This is not a luxury in Seoul, it is simply how things work. Record number 2, plastic surgery capital of the world. The Gangnam district of Seoul is the global capital of cosmetic surgery. South Korea performs more cosmetic procedures per capita than any other country in the world. The procedures range from double eyelid surgery, the most common cosmetic procedure in Asia, to full facial restructuring. Entire streets in Gangnam are lined with plastic surgery clinics, their before and after photos displayed in windows. Medical tourism for cosmetic procedures is a major industry. People fly to Seoul from across Asia, the Middle East, and increasingly from Western countries specifically for surgery. The combination of highly skilled surgeons, competitive prices, and Seoul's reputation for aesthetic innovation has made it the undisputed global leader in this field. Record number 3, the beauty industry. Korean skincare, known globally as K-beauty, has transformed the global cosmetics industry. The 10-step Korean skincare routine, sheet masks, BB cream, and cushion compacts. All of these products and practices originated in Seoul and spread globally. The Myeongdong shopping district is essentially a temple to skincare. Every building on the main street is a beauty store, pharmacy, or cosmetics brand. Seoul is the global capital of beauty innovation. A basic skincare consultation at one of Gangnam's clinics, including a detailed analysis of your skin's condition, pore size, UV damage, and moisture levels, costs around 50,000 won, roughly $35. Record number 4, the food. Seoul's food scene is one of the greatest in the world, and it is dramatically underrated compared to Tokyo or Paris. Korean barbecue, where you grill your own meat at the table, has become a global phenomenon, but the experience of eating it in Seoul is on another level entirely. A full Korean barbecue meal for 2 with all the banchan, the small side dishes that come automatically with every Korean meal, costs around 40,000 to 60,000 won, roughly $25 to $40. Street food at Gwangjang Market, one of Seoul's oldest and most atmospheric traditional markets, costs as little as 3,000 won for a serving of bindaeteok, a mung bean pancake that has been eaten in Korea for centuries, just over $2. Record number 5, the palaces. Seoul has 5 grand royal palaces, more than any other city in Asia, all built during the Joseon dynasty and all still standing today. The most famous Gyeongbokgung Palace dates back to 1395 and represents the height of Joseon dynasty architecture. Entry cost 3,000 won, less than $2.50. And if you rent a traditional hanbok, the Korean national costume, before you visit, you get in for free. The palace grounds also host a royal guard changing ceremony at scheduled times each day, a spectacular display of traditional ceremony and costume that is completely free to watch. Now let's talk about the thing that brought many of you to this video in the first place, the culture. The Korean wave, called Hallyu in Korean, is one of the most remarkable cultural phenomena of the 21st century. Korean pop music, Korean cinema, Korean television dramas, Korean food, Korean skincare, Korean fashion. All of these have gone from being virtually unknown outside Asia 20 years ago to being global phenomena today. BTS became the first Korean act to reach #1 in the United States. Parasite became the first non-English language film to win the Academy Award for Best Picture. Squid Game became the most watched show in Netflix history. And it all comes from here, from the entertainment companies, the recording studios, and the creative agencies clustered in the neighborhoods of Seoul. The neighborhood of Hongdae, centered around Hongik University, is the creative and musical heart of Seoul. Live music spills out of basement clubs. Street performers set up on every corner. The cafes are unlike anything you've seen anywhere else, themed around everything from raccoons to library aesthetics to the inside of a cloud. Hongdae operates on the assumption that everything should be an experience. You don't just drink coffee here, you enter a world. The neighborhood of Gangnam, made globally famous by the song whose name you know even if you've never consciously listened to K-pop, is the wealthy, polished, modern face of Seoul. Luxury brands, designer cafes, the best plastic surgery clinics, the TUX Mall with its viral library, and the entertainment company buildings where K-pop groups train, record, and debut, and where fans gather outside in the hope of catching a glimpse of their favorite artists. Seoul is a city that refuses to stand still. What is the newest neighborhood today will be transformed by next year. Seongsu rounds things out with a former industrial edge-turned-creative hub filled with concept cafes, studios, and design-driven shops. 5 years ago, it was a leather goods manufacturing district. Today, it is Seoul's most fashionable neighborhood. Its old factory buildings converted into some of the most extraordinary cafe and restaurant spaces in Asia. Seoul in 2026 is a city at a fascinating crossroads. The relationship with North Korea remains the defining geopolitical reality of life in the city. The two countries are separated by the Demilitarized Zone, the DMZ, a 4-kilometer-wide strip of land that has been no man's land since 1953 and is now, accidentally, one of the most biodiverse nature reserves in Asia because no human has set foot in it for over 70 years. Day trips to the DMZ from Seoul are one of the most popular tourist activities in South Korea and one of the most surreal experiences available anywhere on Earth. You stand at the border of two of the most different societies on the planet and look across a strip of grass at a country that most people will never visit. South Korea's tourism industry is a dynamic and fast-evolving sector, deeply rooted in the country's rich cultural heritage, natural beauty, and technological innovation. The new Dongseo Trail, South Korea's first long-distance hiking route running for 527 miles between the east and west coasts, is partially opening in 2026, drawing a new wave of outdoor enthusiasts to a country that most people still associate only with its cities. Seoul itself is constantly reinventing. New neighborhoods emerge, old ones transform. The Han River parks fill every evening with people eating chimaek, the beloved Korean combination of fried chicken and beer, watching the city lights reflect on the water. The cherry blossoms return every spring. The palaces stand exactly as they have for 600 years. And somewhere beneath the shopping malls and the subway stations, the blast doors are there, quietly waiting, just in case. Seoul is proof that a city can lose everything and build something extraordinary from the ruins. It was destroyed, it rebuilt, it invented an economy, a culture, and a global identity in 50 years. It produced the music and films and television shows that the world is watching right now. From a peninsula that most Westerners couldn't find on a map 30 years ago, it has royal palaces and nuclear bunkers, a library inside a shopping mall, and a secret garden inside a palace, the fastest internet in the world, and a 500-year-old skincare tradition, street food that costs $2 and cosmetic surgery that costs $2,000. And 35 miles to the north, one of the most closed and secretive countries on Earth, a reminder every single day of how different things could have been. Next week on Globe Curious, we go to Italy, to a city built on water, slowly sinking into the sea, that has refused to die for over 1,000 years. A city where cars are banned, where the streets are canals, and where the question is no longer whether it will disappear, but when. Subscribe so you don't miss it. And tell me in the comments, would you rather spend a week in Seoul's ancient palaces or its neon-lit modern neighborhoods? Drop your answer below. I'll see you in the next city.